focus on hitting your goals in every area of your business. Remember, the universe rewards the bold. A leader has to take the risks.
Welcome to the Wealth on the Beach podcast. My name is Daniel Alonzo, and as always, I'm your host, bringing you some of the greatest minds in the world. We're talking money, we're talking business, we're talking health and wealth today. And we have a real awesome pleasure today to hang out with a good friend of mine. His name is Gilad Hanina, and he is from Israel, and actually Arad, Israel. And we're just so excited. He is a social media marketing master, and he has built a world-class company, works with some really big names, helping people create their brand, their marketing, and their strategies to be able to monetize the whole social media, piece of the world today. And so just really excited. Gilad, thank you so much for being here today. Tell us, what's it like having over 600,000 followers on Instagram, man?
Appreciate to be here, first of all. Thank you for having me. And I guess pretty normal, nothing too special about that. That's like the numbers, what you do with it. And that's might be special.
So how, just kind of curious though, right?
Yeah.
How did you do that? I've been around 31,500 followers on my Instagram, and it just grows like 100, maybe a month or something like that, or a couple hundred a month. And so how did you get it? Like, what was it that got it to go viral? What was that time period for you? And what do you think you were doing at that time to really get the thing to pop?
So obviously it depends. So if you are talking about my brand page, Awareness of Success, or my personal account, because both of them is like different strategies, different things that I did. So actually, if you relate this to your brand, your personal brand, so I don't think it's about like going viral. It's more of about having the right strategies and the right tactics that kind of you can leverage on growth and traffic that would actually grow your account. And there's like many ways to do that. You just, for every brand, you have to understand what's going to be the best strategy to leverage. And for me, it's leveraging influencer marketing. I own and have a really large network of influencers in the business space that I consistently leverage to get more traffic and more people into my brand. And then obviously with high quality content, doing that consistently, you're able to grow and just grow your brand and scale it.
And so just to kind of make sure I'm clear, you really used your relationships in your space, the people that big brands, I'm assuming.
Yep.
People that have big brands. And so you were able to kind of, maybe do some cross-pollination and allow them to share your information with their followers. Their followers ended up seeing you. And then next thing you know, is that kind of what you're talking about?
It's but I took it into another level because the company I was able to build, AOS Media, is a company that focuses on influencer marketing and growth for entrepreneurs. So what I'm doing for myself, I'm also doing for clients. So I was really able to build a large network of influencers that close relationships with me. So then, yes, I leverage their traffic into featuring myself and other clients, obviously. And that's how we can get quality followers and not just followers who wouldn't buy your products or services or wouldn't care about it because, let's say, they follow you for a giveaway or something. They actually follow you for a specific reason. And that's, in my eyes, the way to really grow followers nowadays.
And when you talk about quality content, what does that mean to you?
To me, quality content means content that the main purpose of the content is providing value for your audience. First thing, okay, you're not the hero in the story. Your audience are the heroes, and your content should be focused on providing values to them. Now, it's not just about providing value. That's easy to do. It's about knowing how to provide value in a way that one would get aligned with the algorithm. So when you post content, you actually get traffic, you get views, you get eyeballs on your content, and two, this is a content that builds relationship with your audience. It might be content piece that would be focusing on building more trust, or building your authority, or building, some sort of communication, or touch their feelings. But it should always provide some sort of value that will be combined with how the algorithm would prefer the content piece to go, and would create sort of relationship or improvement with your audience.
And so when you talk about algorithms, because a lot of the people listening right now are all small business owners.
Mm-hmm.
They are trying to grow their businesses, whether they be in financial services or selling cars or selling real estate. That is going to be our main group of people that are, watching this or listening to this right now. So when you talk about algorithm, what does that mean? Because a lot of them don't really know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Okay.
algorithm?
All right, perfect. So first, if you don't know what it means, the good thing is you don't have to know what it means to actually succeed and create good quality content. What I really recommend and teach, and I do myself all the time, is really market research. Like, let's say I'm coming to Instagram, I'm a business owner, but I don't know which type of content are actually going to be the best content for me. I have no idea how the algorithm works. If I go and I just look on like 10 different brands that are similar to me, and I see their content and what their contents are doing, which contents are doing good, which contents are not doing good. Just by looking on the stats and analyzing data, you can understand, okay, these things perform really well. So even without knowing why, obviously you can investigate and see why, but you can just understand, okay, these are the things that now performing well. If I can just model it, if I can do some stuff similar with my brand, I would probably hit way better results than I would do just without this knowledge. So that's one. Now, if you want to dive deep on how the algorithm is working, it's obviously a lot to cover. It's really deep. But if you just understand that Instagram as a platform is supposed to, it's there to actually make money, and how they make money is by keeping people on their platform, showing them ads. So the more you can help and support this goal, keeping people more time on the platform, on your page, the Instagram algorithm is going to notice, oh, this person is good for us because it's keeping people, there's more attention on his profile, on his stories, on his videos, whatever. Then they're going to expose you to more and more and more people gradually, because they see more and more people stay longer than the average stay. And then that's how the algorithm works. And then you can cut that into steps of like, okay, so I will do this in the video, or I will do this thumbnail, or I will do this content piece that eventually is going to get people to be more, spend more time on my profile.
And so when you, if you were to give advice or really talk about some of the challenges that people have out there, like mistakes that people are making right now when it comes to social media, are there a few things that might pop in your mind?
So like I said, market research, I think that's the biggest mistakes. Most people don't do it. If I'm being honest, it's like most people just don't do it at all. So they just post whatever they think they should be posting. And sometimes it works, but majority of the times it wouldn't work. You just post and you don't know what you're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing, then you're probably not gonna get good results. But if you're gonna do some research, get experience and knowledge, and then you're gonna act based on this knowledge that you have earned, so that's gonna get you way better results. So I guess that's the main mistakes, main mistake that I see right now. Second one would be not focusing on the audience. Pretty much, like I said, like the content should be focused on the audience, so providing value to them, building a relationship, creating content that based on emotion triggers. That would be something that I think most people should do more of. And yeah, third one is just staying consistent. Building a brand is not happening in a day. So if you do it for a month and then you see that you get no results, and you just stop, then obviously you're not gonna go anywhere from there because you just stopped. And I would add on that also having a strategy, because if you just obviously stay consistent but you don't have a proven strategy that's proven to be working for you, or at least for some other people, and then you act based on like things that are proven to be working, and you don't act with a strategy, then obviously things are not going to work the way they should work.
So you're telling me that if I'm in financial services, I probably shouldn't be posting pictures of my dog every day. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay,
for
all right.
sure.
Because that's the mistakes that I see people making all the time. I mean, they post
100%.
pictures of their babies all day long, every day, all of their parties. They're out drinking with their friends, they're out partying, and then, but they're also at the same time trying to build a brand that has to do with financial services. And so
Yep.
I see that all the time, and with no consistency. You look at their page, and a lot of people that even I coach, I try to at least point them to some of the right strategies,
Yeah.
and that's the challenge. So they need a coach, somebody like you. So what is somebody like you like? Let's kind of run me down. If you were to, let's just say, I called you up and I said, all right, Gilad, take over my account, show me what to do. What's some of the first things you're going to do in a situation like that?
For sure. I can actually walk you through the exact step-by-step process that we have in the agency, which is exactly what we would do if you would come over. And that's the steps that we take with any client that goes from like basically 0 followers to having thousands, tens of thousands, and with few cases, hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, and a lot of attention, engagement. So the first step is really understanding your brand messaging, your core beliefs, your values, creating your brand identity. Like that's what we really want to narrow down. So I would focus the first week or two just on like um, asking you questions. Obviously, we have a full PDF of questions that you kind of feel that get us to know and understand um, everything about your brand. So we would understand that first. We will get, photos from you, videos from you, any materials, resources that you have in the past. And then what we will do is we will start creating your brand image, but also your brand identity in terms of like designs, in terms of like copy, colors, things like that. And so that would be the first step. Second step would be creating the actual content. Now, obviously, we are an experienced agency. We've been doing that for years. We know exactly which content pieces to create. But let's say you are doing it and you don't know. So I would actually coach you on like how to do it, how to learn. And then that's all obviously like understanding the algorithm, understanding the market, understanding research, understanding competitors, understanding your audience way better. So that would be the third step. And then obviously starting to post, being active consistently, feed stories, start analyzing the results that you get. And then while you analyze and you get certain results, I would start also growing your account with the influencers that we have, organic growth. So that way you start getting new followers, because I don't like to just count on the content that I post to get me new followers, because that's just doesn't work anymore on Instagram. Most cases, I want to be able to just have a source of traffic that I can leverage to start growing more followers. And then you see the engagement going up and the followers going up, get more messages. And then from there, we just adjust and kind of scale your brand step by step.
And so, well, that's great, man. I mean, I love that. I mean, this is very clear and concise. And I think that the people that are watching right now or listening on the podcast, they are hopefully what you're recognizing is there's an actual strategy to social media. It's not just you just get up in the morning and you post willy nilly, but there's something more behind what people are doing, because you're watching people and you're like, wow, these people are doing great. They have so many followers. How do I get that many followers? How do I do it? There is a strategy. There's a game plan behind everything that people are doing out there,
Every
especially
single thing.
the big ones, the big players in the market. There are things that they're doing consistently for a reason. There's a method to their madness. And again, I made a joke about it a little bit earlier, but this is very, very important. I mean, my business page, y'all, is focused on business. My business page is not about, now I do from time to time post stuff about my family and about my kids every once in a while, but it's very rare. My main focus is to make sure that I'm bringing value to people, as far as when it comes to our business. I want people to understand that I'm a coach and a leader, and I teach sales money management and business and all that stuff, versus being disorganized and teaching all kinds of different things. One day I'm not doing a cooking show, and the next day I'm talking about sales. and
Yep.
I'm very, very focused on that. So I've kind of explained this, Gilad, for everybody to understand what I'm doing. But if you were to look at me or just even to listen, and I want you to criticize me, did I say anything wrong there? And it's okay if I did. And
So
what more could I be doing?
So definitely not post a lot of things that are not related to your messaging. But on the same time, if you're growing a personal brand, you should understand that you are the brand. It might be you doing the personal brand for your business, but after all, people are gonna do business with you because of you, not because of your business. Relationships, that's what build the actual business. So it's not like don't post at all things about your personal life. Actually post and post it consistently, but you got to do it again with a reason, with a strategy. So for example, you're going to post some activities that you're doing with your kids, then you can do it because of like few main reasons. One, family may be one of your core values and beliefs that you believe in, quality family time. So that's your personality, you promote it. Second, you're gonna, let's say you're in the financial industry and you promote wealth and you want to show people that, if they grow their wealth, they can have more quality time with their families. So you can post your family while showing them that this is the reason you were able to grow wealth and now you get to enjoy your kids. So you basically have a certain reason to a goal with what you post. So you're not going to just fill out your content with like tons of pictures of your kids. It might be one or two, but you're going to send a message out there. So you kind of show your personality, you show who you are, people engage and relate with it. That's how you create emotional connection with people. But there's always a reason that's going to encourage them eventually to become a customer, a client, a follower, whatever the goal is.
Good stuff, man. You got this down, buddy. You really have it down. Very, very impressed so far, my friend.
Appreciate
Okay,
it.
so tell us a little bit about your story and how did you get into all this stuff, and how did you end up here?
Okay, for sure. So I guess starting point is me joining the Israeli army. I'm from Israel, like you said. So in Israel, everybody got to serve in the army. So at the age of 19, already studied 2 years, becoming a mechanical engineer, and I joined the army. And before I joined, I worked in many different jobs, McDonald's, things like that. And the actual job that I had before the army was sales, and I was really, really good at it. I worked there for about a year and a half, became really good. And when I joined the army, my income was like going really down because in the army, you're not making a lot of money, literally like around $100, $200 a month. That would actually just pay for whatever you need. Yeah. And the army take care of you, but if you want the extra stuff, you got to work. So I got a course about dropshipping with a partner. And for the next 2 years in the army, on my side hustle, I would just create a business. I didn't know how to speak in English back then, like literally almost nothing. And I didn't know anything about business. So for these 2 years, I was actually learning so much. Like I learned about business, about finances, about cash flow, about e-commerce, about sales. And I did that pretty successfully for 2 years. After 2 years, decided to close this business, decided, hey, I want to learn more about marketing and I want to start doing more things in the personal development space because my success on the dropshipping business was literally because I was able to develop myself a lot. I read so much books in the army, took courses, did some deep work with myself, and that's where I started my brand. Uh, I did a lot of things in the like between the dropshipping to the understanding, obviously, of starting a brand. But then I started awareness of success, and I didn't know anything about branding, about Instagram. So I just started this brand firstly on Facebook, didn't work, moved to Instagram, started to learn how Instagram works. I took all the courses, all the mentors. I spent all my basically hard-earned money from the dropshipping business. I put that into mentors, coaches on Instagram, which later became good friends of mine, business partners. And I just started to get really good results with Instagram. First month I did about 10,000 followers, and then 100,000 followers in 3 months. And I started coaching people on like how to grow their brands. And over the years, I've coached hundreds of people in many different industries. Um, in the business space, in the pet industry, in the fashion industry, in the art. And all this, by the way, while serving in the army. So I was basically doing this as my side hustle. I started getting really good results on Instagram. Started also producing some video content in English. Started a Facebook group, started my brand, and one thing led to the other. I basically started doing more of like an agency work, which is like people at one point. I started, getting like high level clients and leads that they told me like, hey, we don't want you to coach us. We don't care. Just do it for us. I'm like, okay, let me do it. So they were willing to pay way more for me to just do things for them. So I was the content creator. I was creating the captions. I was like designing everything, managing, like I did all of that. So I was basically creating, I already had like a six-figure business while serving in the army. So like after 3.5 years of service, I was able to finish my service with a successful business. When I say successful, I was alone. I didn't have to go and work as a mechanical engineer, like what I was supposed to do, and I started basically growing the business from there. So if you look here, few years, like 2 years to where we are right now, I have a team of 9 people, and we got really narrowed down on helping entrepreneurs grow their brands on Instagram. We have worked with many clients over the years, and we got really specific and focused on just that. And that's what I've been doing. That's kind of my journey on a little bit.
No, that's great. It's fun to hear the journey, especially in your accent. It's cool because I love the fact that, I mean, you might be one of the farthest podcasts. Now, I do realize you are in Orlando, Florida right now. So, you know, but as far as where you live, I mean, you're probably one of the farthest that I've ever interviewed before. And I
Really?
think it's so, I think it's so cool, that, that while being in the army, because a lot of people make excuses, right? I have a job, I'm working too hard, I have to, and I'm sure you worked a lot of hours in the army, and you
Yeah.
figured out a way to have a side hustle. And I have a lot of people that come into my business on a part-time basis, and a lot of them, they can't focus on having a side hustle and actually producing their regular income. So, is there any tips that you can give people that you used while, on how you did it all? I mean, you were making
Yeah.
$100,000 aside from your job in the army. So how'd you do
Yeah.
it?
So I definitely have a ton. Like we can talk hours about these topics for sure. In the army, I used to work about at least 12 hours a day. Some days was like even 16. So I was like, I was working a lot. Okay. Now, and I had my nights free. So instead of like sleeping 8 hours, whatever, I would sleep in six, but I was working 2 hours, or I had my weekends. So I guess my tips are, and the things I did from personal experience is, first and foremost, is you gotta have a huge desire, because without a desire and to really create some stuff, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna have the discipline to do it. And second of all is I was in a lot of pain in the army, a lot of pain. I really wanted to change my circumstances. I'm coming from a poor family, and I didn't want to, just finish the army and go work at some company. I really wanted to start create freedom for myself. So I was in a lot of pain, and that's kind of what drove me to create change. So that's the biggest thing. Okay. Now, more than that, I guess, is making sacrifices. It's like in the army, there is a lot of social life that I probably missed, like 80% of it, because I was just working when my friends, did this or did that. Weekends when I went home, like only twice a month, I was working instead of like going out most of the time or even seeing my girlfriend. So I had to make a lot of sacrifices to get this to work. So that's like second thing. You gotta do deep work with yourself, understand what you're willing to sacrifice in order to get things moving, especially if it's a side hustle. Obviously, once I finished my service, I started having a lot more time. So, like right now, I'm traveling, I'm in the US while I still run and manage my business full time. So, obviously, you got to make sacrifices. And third thing I would say is eliminate distractions. This is really, really good. It's really important not to just let's say Netflix is a distraction, and you want to go get some work done for the next 1 hour. or 2 hours, but Netflix is right there. All you have to do is click on it. So you might be super disciplined and you're not going to click on it. But just this battle in your mind that is telling you, hey, Gilad, don't click on this app right now, is taking a lot of your energy. And you're eventually at one day are going to break and click. And sometimes it will become a habit and you will start drifting and just distract yourself every time you go to work. But what happens is if you just eliminate the distraction, you delete all these games, the apps, you do that and you just eliminate all the distractions. What happens is you now can focus very easily, way
And
easier.
so I love that. I mean, I'm just like sitting here listening to you going, man, I mean, desire. Look, if you have a side hustle and it's not going real well for you right now, you need to figure out, and I like how you said deep work, right? We got to figure out what's our desire, what's our white hot desire, and then focus on like what pain are you trying to get out of? Because
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Like if you lay me in a bed, I can stay there comfortable forever. If you lay me on a bed of nails, I'm going to
Yeah.
get my ass up and I'm going to get out of there as quickly as possible. So the pain, you got to use the pain as fuel to take your life to that next direction. And of course, you know, a lot of us, we came from maybe not so good neighborhoods, or maybe we didn't come from, you know, rich parents or anything like that, and we wanted a better life, we wanted the freedom and all that. And I love how you said sacrifice is obviously something that I've always preached. I mean, I was 21 when I got in business, and look, the truth is I was you know, one of those kids where I had a lot of friends, man. I had a big party schedule, but when I went into business, it was over. I mean, that was it, man. I was tunnel
Yeah.
vision. I wanted to get financially free. I wanted to save my money. I wanted to invest. I wanted to live below my means. I wanted to, you know, do the things, you know, that other people wouldn't do, so I could have a life that most other people wouldn't have. And I love the delete the distractions, because our phones, man, this
Yep.
phone right here, this will kill you. I'm just telling you, man, it'll kill your distraction. Now, it could help you make a lot of money too. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it as long as you're using it in the right way. But there's a lot of apps on there that'll make you money, and there's a lot of apps on there that will keep you broke. And so I
Yeah.
love that way. And I wanted to summarize that, because this is a very, because somebody was telling me today that they watch I do a coaching program, Wealth on the Beach Club, every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this morning I was talking, and or somebody chimed in, one of the students, and he said that he listens to every single one of my podcasts. And he said, the reason why I love listening to the podcast is because it continually reminds me that success leaves clues. So everything that you just talked about, Gilad, today totally applies to my life, to your life, to really anybody's life that wants to be successful. So what do you think about all that?
I believe in it so much that I created a podcast just about that. I have my own podcast, the Awareness of Success podcast, where I literally created the podcast because I believe that success leaves clues. There's like habits, there's like mindset, and there's like patterns that are repetitive, that are proven to create success. I've studied this over the years many times, and I was first witnessed it when I was in the army. I read the book Think and Grow Rich, which teaches you how to build wealth step by step. And I literally, this was the first moment, I literally wrote down on a piece of paper, just like he was saying, I will earn $10,000 per month by this and this date, and what I'm willing to give, the value I'm able to provide, things like that. I was at the moment I was making about $100 a month. I want to make $10,000. It's a huge jump in a couple of months. And I literally remember this date arriving, and I was able to hit the exact number, like pretty much $100 less, like 9,800 something. And it was crazy to me. And this is where I started to understand, oh, these things works. And I did that again. I put down another piece of paper, did that. And this is talking to us about financial wealth, but I think it applies to every area of your life, which I'm still studying and growing and sharing on the podcast. So I really believe definitely there is patterns, there is things that you can learn, educate yourself, practice, and improve to create success.
That's great. That's great stuff. And Think and Grow Rich was one of my first books that I ever read. So I know exactly. I think that's actually page 36, believe it or not.
Really?
And I love, love, love. And look, all of this is just patterns of thought and visualization, the law of attraction at work. Whatever you think about with courage, determination, and passion will ultimately become your reality. These are the little things that most people will never do simply because it seems weird. It seems dumb. It seems weird. It seems like, oh, this never is going to happen for me. But it's funny how after about 150 podcasts that I've done so far, it's just amazing to me how so predictable success is.
Hmm.
Everybody that I've talked to, these are the little things that they did. They sacrificed, they had huge desire, they wrote down their goals, they looked at them every day, they got totally focused. Look, I miss
It's
birthday
incredible.
parties, I miss weddings, I miss, all kinds of things in the early days. I didn't go party with my friends, I didn't do any of that stuff. I mean, for years and years and years. And then you get financially independent and then you get free. And then I woke up, I was 28 years old, and I'm like, I got $1 million saved. I'm totally financially independent. Life is amazing. I was making $500,000 in passive income. And so this is the result of all the stuff that Gilad is talking about. I love it. Tell me more about your Awareness of Success podcast. Why did you start a podcast?
Yeah, okay. It's a really good question because I I help people grow their personal brands and I became really, really good at that. But when I was growing my own brand, I was having second thoughts. I was like, this is how I want to be remembered, how I want to be known, because I didn't want to get known just for Instagram. I'm really good at that, but I understood this is my business. I'm helping people with their Instagram account and marketing and monetization and, leads, making money off their platform. But this is not who I am all about. I really believe my success is through my development, and that's what I'm passionate about. So I decided I'm gonna just switch my brand all over the place. I'm gonna come out with Gilad, who is like talking about entrepreneurship and personal development and those mindset and habits, and that's what I decided to do. So I started the podcast. I also have a platform with almost 1 million followers, Awareness of Success on Instagram. That's the brand I started that I told you about 3 years ago. We are almost at probably gonna hit 1 million followers this week. So I decided to start the podcast and just be able to start growing my brand around these values, these beliefs, that I really want to be known for and talk about and just expand, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. And I think it's great because you are now practicing what you're preaching.
Yeah.
So the beauty of it is now you get to kind of go on the other side of the coin and say, these are the things that I'm teaching my clients. I'm going to now start utilizing those same techniques, so that same advice that I've been giving people to grow my own brand. So it's going to be exciting to see your growth and to see you really, do something huge
Yeah.
because of the things that, because you've helped a lot of other people become successful. Well, now it's time for you to be that brand name that we all know and love and that we can learn from. So that's really, really exciting. And I think that, like, look, what would you say to those people uh, that are really scared to put themselves out there on Instagram or make these videos, or they just feel like, oh, I'm not a public speaker like that, I can't talk to people, I'm not very good at that, like, what would you say to those people? Because they have the desire to be successful, and we know that in today's economy you have to have a brand awareness. Because, and I tell my agents all the time, we have 1,500 agents, we have 48 locations, and I tell them all the time that, look, you need to build a brand for you, because even just because your clients are going to look you up, right? When somebody wants to go into business with you, they will look you up. And if they don't like what they see, if they don't like that brand, if they don't think the brand is professional, there might be a hesitation whether they do business with you or not. I mean, am I at all close on that?
So much. It's like one of my clients, his name is Adam Jablin. You can check him out. His account is like crushing it right now. He wrote a book about addictions. He became an addiction coach. He was managing one of the largest manufacturer in the world, okay, in lace manufacturer, and he decided to switch, become a coach and a brand himself. So we started working with him at 900 followers. Now it's over 200,000 followers, thousands of likes per post, engagement, crazy. And he's telling me every time, you can literally DM him. It's like he's getting so much business thanks to his Instagram account. People, like high level people, okay, clients paying a lot of money because he's known, he's built an authority on a platform. That's the new business card. That's where people go check him out, and that's where they will check you out. They will go Google you, they will go Instagram you, and obviously creating a brand is something that is not just necessary. It's not even a must. It's something that if you want to scale and go big, you got to have, and you got to put focus on it. You got to work with the right people or have the right strategies to um, really do it in a way that would actually get results, not just on the side. It's not like just, okay, I'm just going to post something. No, it's something that should become a main source of leads and business. It's like clients that come in work with us, they don't utilize Instagram for their business. So they think, okay, I'm just going to do this for, a couple of months. It's going to be good. But then they understand once, the coin dropped, they understand Instagram now became one of the biggest traffic source and lead generation and sales source for their business. So once they learn how to do it right, now they just put all their focus, they move all their marketing materials to Instagram because that's what's hot right now. That's where you can really scale your business, and if you do it right. So if you really want to scale, yes, do that. And about not knowing, or being afraid of like shooting videos or things like that, what I can really tell you guys is like, go look on my Facebook group where I started. I literally I didn't know how to speak in English, and I started doing videos. That's how I learned to speak on camera. I didn't know anything. I was like speaking in a broken English. You can hear my accent now. Imagine what it was like 3-4 years ago when I couldn't speak. So it's not about doing the perfect video. Imperfection action is way better than waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect action. Just start creating, start doing, learn how to get over this fear that is stopping you, take action. Even if it's scary in the beginning, like you can literally tell on the video and tell people online, I'm super scared right now to do this video. It's my first time. I would love to get your support to keep me going. So many people are going to give you their support, and just get over this fear. Start being consistent with it. Surround yourself with other creators that's going to inspire you to create more, and in no time you will start living a life of like, how can I live without creating? It become a habit, and that's it.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that you said that because I mean, I am, if I don't create something every day, it feels weird. Like I was with my son last night, and we drove down to my office, and on Tuesday evening we do a little training for some of our agents, and I was driving with him and in the car, and he always comes with me, and he usually does a little bit of video of me and during different things, and I told him, I said, look, you have to take this seriously because I am a content creator. That's what I am. I mean, so I know it's weird always taking videos of your dad and, recording me and different things like that. But I rely on somebody like you because I'm around you so much. And you are, one of my best friends in my life. I mean, he's my son. He's 19 years old, and we, do lots of things together. And I said, I rely on you to take that seriously because this is a part of, it's a part of how we survive. It's a part of the way we, have built our lives. And it is the calling card. It is the business card of who I am. And so I make content every single day. I mean, again, now granted, I've been very, very fortunate that, I do this now because I love it. I love to provide value. I love to create. I mean, I've been financially independent for, 20 years or something like that now. I mean, but it's really one of those things where it's fun for me. It's fun knowing that maybe, you get that little message and somebody DMs you and says, hey, thank you for the value. Thank you. I mean, I'm just telling you right now, Gilad, I mean, this is one of the most valuable podcasts. I hope people listen to this over and over and over again, because it is huge, huge, huge that people, all right, that people watch this and over and over again, because I'm having a video. I'm just going to pause. So I just think it's important that people ultimately take charge of knowing that they are a creator. They are the brand creator of their life, and they need to take building a brand and marketing. They need to take it very, very seriously. And so, hey, look, Gilad, I mean, this has been so much fun. You've provided so much value, and just so excited. I'm so excited to meet you and to now become a friend of mine and a future, business associate, I'm sure, in the future. And so tell us now, how do we get a hold of you, man? I mean, there's a lot of people out there, they're thinking, you know what, I want to get to know this guy. Who is he? How can I learn more about him? Maybe, who knows, maybe, they'll want you to coach them in their social media journey. So give us your stats, your info, and
For sure.
how do we get a hold of you, man?
For sure. So I guess best thing is Instagram. It's the Gilad Hanina, THE Gilad Hanina. You just DM me, send me a DM. I try to respond to everybody who's sending a message, trying to help as many people as I can. So that's the first thing. Feel free to follow, send a DM, and then you can also check out the podcast, the Awareness of Success podcast, Spotify, iTunes, link in my bio, and just listen. I think it's also gonna be helpful for many people listening to your show, going deeper about the habits, the mindset, the patterns that get success. So that would be the main two channels.
Well, that's awesome. Our audience today, you are going to go out there and research him and get to know him. Go check out the podcast and make sure you share some love on his Instagram. And if you are listening to this and you wanted to take a second, reach out to Gilad and say, hey, I heard you with Daniel Alonzo on Wealth on the Beach podcast, and that's so awesome. And
That
that
would be awesome.
way, that would be great. And I know I'm going to be sharing this with Gilad. He's going to post it up, and we're going to be sharing it on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify and all the good stuff. And just really, really excited to know you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all the tremendous pieces of value that you just gave us today. And I just want to recognize to everybody that you need to continue to dream bigger. You need to continue to get after it. And most importantly, do it now. God bless you, and we will see you at the top.